Hi lovelies, it's your girl Afro Story. This will be the first of my body image bootcamp videos, and I'm going to introduce various topics with this series. However, the first one that I wanted to talk about is becoming your own mirror. Okay, so when I say mirror, what do you guys think about? When I think of mirror, the word mirror, that has a lot of different meanings. But as it pertains to this video, when I say mirror, I'm talking about your reflection, who you are as you are. All right? So, unfortunately, there's a lot of us, and myself included, that has at one point in their life struggled with seeing themselves in the mirror as they are. And there's many reasons for this. I'll just take my life history for example. There was a time when I looked in the mirror. I didn't see what Afro Story embodied, her values, her needs, and her wants. Rather, when I looked in the mirror, I embodied those values, those expectations, those demands of everybody else around me. And that embodiment took flesh on the way I wanted to present myself physically to the world. So, for example, if you know my family, and I have a big family, so maybe y'all may know somebody. Y'all may know somebody in my family. But I do have a very large family, and on my mother's side, and a lot of women in my family, there's a specific attribute that when you see this on a female, then you know, or you'll probably think that they belong to my family or some other family, but they'll belong to my family. Every lady in my family has this attribute, and that attribute is having big legs. All right. Although I love my big legs now. I strut my big legs. I flaunt my baby doll legs. Now, there was once a time when I was so self-conscious to show them off. I was so self-conscious to let anybody see my leg because I was going through this awkward duckling phase when I had a very lean body, but I had these tree trunk thighs and these big old legs that just made me just a sore thumb to anybody that saw me. When you had me up in a crowd, you could easily point out, okay, that's the awkward duckling. Okay, that was me. And so I had constant men and girls alike. Mostly it was girls, I have to say. Girls would constantly say, gosh, girl, you got some big behind legs, and your legs so big, and all of this. And I went through a tomboy phase. I wouldn't really call it a tomboy phase. Maybe that's just my cop out. But I went through this phase when I wanted to wear overalls all the time. And that was really because I wanted to cover up my legs. I didn't want people to see my legs. So even when I became a little bit more into myself, when I got to high school, I did varsity cheerleading. I did competition cheerleading. Woohoo, first place nationals. Not to mention, I made UCA staff, but that's besides the point. Tangent. But even during that time, I remember when we went to competition, and we had to have these little anklet bracelets. You know when you go like to a fair or something like that, or you're going into some sort of club or something, and they give you this anklet bracelet or wrist bracelet to put on your wrist. Well, they did that with our ankles. And I'll never forget the guy that was manning the door. He actually said in front of everybody, well, I'm going to have to get 2 anklets for your ankle. And I was just like, oh my gosh, are you serious? That really was one of the pinnacle moments when I felt like, gosh, do I have like these freak legs? Like, do I really? And so when I looked in the mirror, it took a long time, some major heart-to-heart moments with myself to realize when I saw myself in the mirror that, Brittany, your legs, your big legs are beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. Because there was a time when I didn't like my hair. I hated my hair. When I had natural hair when I was younger as well, and I had issues with that. When I looked in the mirror, it took me a long time to come to accept my skin. There was a time when I hated being dark skinned. Shoot, none of the guys went for the dark skin chick, or you're beautiful for a dark skinned chick. Or, you would take photos, but then you would be so obscure people wouldn't hardly be able to see you. Or, people would say, oh, well, Brittany, she's dark. I would hear that from white and black people alike, people from different races alike, about having dark skin. It took me a while to come to accept that. Having having a wide nose and full lips, it took me a long time to accept that. A lot of my body, I had to play catch up with it. I had to play catch up with looking at myself and saying, when I look in the mirror, girl, you somebody. You looks good. It took me a while to come to that. And how I came to that, there's many reasons. There's many triggers, so to speak, that made me come to that journey full speed towards self-acceptance and self-love. And if you want to know more about how I came to love who I really was and become my own mirror, then definitely check out my blog post that I did about it. The link will be below this. And I will encourage you guys to read it to really get a good understanding of who Afro Story really is. I give you guys a snapshot of that in that blog post. So if you have the time, take the time to read it. But once I entered that journey, I knew what I had to do. All right? Because I had a lot of mirrors on my wall, but none of those mirrors belonged to me. All right? So I had to take down those mirrors. I had to clean house, so to speak. I had to take down all those mirrors that friends gave to me, that ex-boyfriends gave to me, that even some family members gave to me, that some people that I didn't even know but felt the need to give me their mirror gave to me. I had to take all of those mirrors down, and I had to climb up in my so-called body image attic and take down those old dusty mirrors that I had for myself, but I never wanted to use. I had to hang those on the wall, and I had to use an old wash rag or dusting rag to wipe off the dust. Wipe off the dust of the bullying, wipe off the dust of all of, family and friends telling you how you should look or how people should look. Wipe down all the dust of all of those instances when it was a particular guy that you may have liked and want to catch his eye, but he never really wanted to look at you because of the way you look. Maybe he didn't like dark-skinned girls. Maybe he didn't like natural-haired girls. I had to recognize that in order for people to see me, I had to see me. Okay? So to become your own mirror, you must first understand that you have to love who you are. And to love who you are, you must first see who you are. And in order to do that, you got to wipe away all that baggage, y'all. You got to wipe away all that dust. And then, and only then, will you really, really be able to enter onto that journey of self-love and self-acceptance. So if you want to learn more about my body image story, click on the link below in the description box. I open up about a lot of things that I've experienced in the past, so you definitely want to check it out. And don't forget to join my website if you want to get more body image bootcamp posts and videos. And we can stay in touch on Facebook and Twitter. Just follow the links below. Thanks for watching.